I am Precious Chukudi. Thank God it's Friday. Of course, we begin with the front pages of the papers this morning, starting off with Vanguard. Vanguard is leading with Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road, uproar over cost as federal government proposes 3,000 per toll gate. The rider says cars to pay 1,500 naira, trucks 5,000 naira, and that's coming from Mahi. Says a landmark resort, jobs won't be affected, property owners to be compensated. It's a highway to fraud, waste, and that's coming from Atiku. Federal government not tired of inflicting pain on Nigerians, and that's coming from Labour Party. Any toll above 300 naira unacceptable, and that's coming from COP. Luxury bus operators kick says passengers will bear the brunt. Road may become highway of exploitation, fraud. NLC. Costs must be recovered. Unwilling motorists should ply alternative routes. That's coming from APC Scribe. Saulu at the small market fire site yesterday. Wigwe, while Ogunbanjo's family sued chartered company over helicopter crash. Minister apologizes for saying Nigerians keep freezers on due to low tariffs. Stories above, we have Ordili declares a Fubara leader of PDP in Rivers. Junior Pope, how Fanta money I sprayed in the river saved me, and that's coming from a survivor. Christian elders to Tinubu adopt 2014 confab report. Manufactured goods imports rise 269% to 9 trillion naira. Export declines. Okwama army invades another Delta community. Arrest 10. Raises home. And lastly on the front page of Vanguard, we have Tinubu, Jibrin, Kalu, Uzodima, Obi, others mourn as Ogbonaya Onu dies at 72. We take a look at the Guardian newspaper. The Guardian is leading with hard times for addicts, fresh concerns as youth get high on physics, nutmeg, illicit substance. And we can see an infographic showing on that report in 2023. 15 drug kingpins bagged 168 years of imprisonment collectively, and so on that report. Nigeria records a $3.2 billion loss in Q1 as oil production hits record low. Minister apologizes for jive on electricity consumption culture, cheap tariffs. Inquiry on Okwama killing, journalists barred as stakeholders worry over fairness. Christian elders link insecurity to foreign invasion. Top 4 banks earn 8 trillion naira in 12 months, records 3.5 trillion naira FX gain. Lagos Calabar to be completed in 8 years at 4 billion naira per kilometer. Afenifere urges the Southwest governors to get federal government grants for farmers. We'll take a look at the Punch newspaper. The Punch is leading with Lagos Calabar Highway. Federal government plans compensation in 9 states, puts cost at 15 trillion naira. The writer says Tinubu orders payment of compensation for property owners in Lagos, Akwa Ibom, 7 others. Federal government extend eviction notice for property owners. NSC says projects to improve state economies. Government shut small markets. Onlu hint at building demolition. Junior Pope, AGN suspend Riverside movie shooting. Police launch probe. NAFDAC bans Turkey made soap. Tracks of fake Indian injection powder. Make Yoruba teaching language in Southwest schools, says Afenifere. Law to terminate many cases at appeal court coming, and that's come from AGF. Wigwe, Ogunbanjo's family sue US firm for helicopter crash. Sanu now berate the minister over half pay a promise, and that's how we can take on the front pages of the papers. Join us after the break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. If you're just joining, this is still today in the news of Vanguard Life. I am Precious Chikudi, and joining me to talk about Lagos Calabar Coastal Roads, correspondent John Alecheno. He's going to be talking more on that. Good morning, sir. Good to have you join me this morning.
Good morning, madam.
All right,
and
yes.
Good morning to our listeners.
All right, let's delve in, and let's talk about the federal government's proposal to charge 3,000 naira on average per toll gate when the Lagos Calabar Coastal Road is completed.
Well, it's from the concept, laudable as the project sounds, because it would, when completed, it would reduce travel time and enhance interpersonal relations between Nigerians living in that part of the country. But the cost of the project in itself is mired in controversy. From the project cost to the manner in which the contract was awarded, there are arguments that competitive bidding was not that the Procurement Act actually and the rules governing contract awards was not followed. Even the Minister of Works, Umahi, added to the controversy with his remarks yesterday that users of the road, when completed, will be required to pay an average of 3,000. Only God knows how many toll gates they intend to put on that road. Of course, the opposition party has come out shouting, even the labor unions, that if you're going to tax that much, how much is if you divide what's the minimum wage now, how much is it per hour? What do you pay people, for them to be able to afford that kind of toll? Other controversies tied to the truth of the matter is the price is on the high side. Lots of people are like, look, you are not talking 300 or 200 or 500 at the most, but 3,000 is quite on the high side. And even the cost of the project itself, 15.6 trillion, like Atiku enunciated yesterday, that's like practically the budget of the 36 states of the Federation, for this year. And then the project, there was nowhere it was advertised as is required by law for people to bid. To recoup the money, we know this administration, like its predecessor, has been involved in a lot of borrowing, and there are also plans to borrow more. This project is supposed to be funded and then refunded to, and then made to pay for us to pay back these loans. However, at what cost? That's the question most of the opposition people are asking. Is it at the cost of making life more difficult for Nigerians? Because it's a lot. I do not know. I do not have the figures off my fingertips, but I do not know anywhere else in Africa where tolls are that high. So it's going to be controversial because they do not have the completion time of the road project, but that 3,000 is I don't think it will be an easy thing for most commuters, actually.
Can you speak more about the calls
Yes,
for people who are saying that the money budgeted for the road is high and that it lacks transparency?
Yes, even the minister of works has been making some TV appearances, and with all due respect to him, it's like he's been making you have double speak. In one breath, he's saying no amount has been paid for the job. Another breath is saying a certain amount was approved and released by the Federal Executive Council for the road project. But the length of it is another matter. 15.6 trillion is not 15.6 million naira. Trillion. That's huge. That's huge for a road project. I know he says it's going to traverse six states or thereabout. And then there's also this issue of there's this threat also. Well, they've given evacuation order to the owner of a resort. We're talking about bringing in investors and increasing our intake of foreign direct investment, getting good exchange from our tourism potential. An individual, I understand, one Paul on one built this gigantic project, landmark resort. And I understand there are about 80 businesses currently on the land. with 4,000 direct jobs. Now, this structure or structures are going down for this road project. And over the years, he's been paying an average of 2 billion naira in taxes on an annual basis. So this business is going to give way to this road project. Well, it is said that government has agreed. I do not have evidence of it yet, that they have agreed to pay some form of compensation. But then the cost of the project is a subject of controversy. Whether funds have been released, or whether in part or in full. And the Chaboris, I'm sorry, that name keeps popping up. A lot of, right from the days of maximum ruler General Abacha, for contracts and contracts that have had a lot of controversy tied to them. So we really need to wait and see how far this controversy will be sorted out. And I think government requires a lot more transparency on this matter. They need a lot more education. They need to educate the public more on the exact cost, because what Umai gave us the 15 point something trillion, he said it's initial, it's like an initial cost, not an exact. It's just tentative for now. So he's giving a hint that it's going to increase. So it's going to go beyond the 15.6 trillion. For you to give out this contract worth this much without competitive bidding you should raise eyebrows. You should raise a lot of eyebrows. People should ask questions. I do not know where the PP is in all of this, because when you want to award projects, it is contracts. It is expected that you open it up for competitive bidding so that Nigerians will get the best value for money to be spent. But for some reason that we cannot explain now, this contract was given a secret. Let's put it that way. Let's not. I'm aware of libel laws and stuff like that, so it didn't follow due process. That is the argument of Atiku and several other opposition figures. Now it is left for government to come out with to come clean with this, the exact nature of this contract, when it was awarded, what was the process that led to it being awarded to this particular company. Has he had any track record of handling such projects anywhere else in the world? Let's not even restrict it to Nigeria. And if I'm not mistaken, the same company had contracts for part of the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. And I do not know how far they've been able to execute that project. Have they satisfied the terms of the agreement and stuff like that? Those are some of the questions being asked by Nigerians. So it is left for both the company and government to come out clean, to explain, how they arrived at the contract sum and the agreement, But certainly governments will have to revisit this issue of the cost they intend to put as toll.
All right, let's talk about the implication of this toll on the average Nigerian. And of course, I read in papers today where an APC scribe was saying that those that cannot afford to pay for the toll should take alternative routes. What's your take?
That would be insensitive, if you ask me. Insensitive in the sense that government, the primary function of government anywhere in the world is to cater for the welfare and security of the citizens, and making transportation easier for citizens is part of their welfare. I mean, we as citizens, these are part of the things we should enjoy. Good road network, transport should be made a lot easier, be it rail, be it road. Yes, you can say aeroplanes are a little elitist, but roads, they are going to use taxpayers' money. Whether or not these people use these roads, they'll be made to pay because you took loans, and these loans are going to be repaid with their money. So it doesn't make sense to say because they can't, if they can't afford it, they shouldn't use it. No, we're talking of roads here. We're not talking of a private enterprise. It's a public road. And if there's anything the least government can do, it's like, I'm sorry, I'm not a politician, but some of the policies that have been turned down by this administration since inception appear to be targeted at making the rich richer and the poor poorer. Why do I say so? We've had an increase in the cost of petrol, which we all know affects a lot of other things. Just when that has not died down, an increase in electricity tariff, we're still shouting on that. Now you want the roads that are like the least, the thing that every other person, in fact, I can say to a large extent, let's even take the Abuja-Kaduna rail service now. It is sad that it has literally been hijacked by the elite. Because ordinary people, by the time you go online to try to buy tickets, it's like making a camel pass through the eye of a needle. Because on paper it's 3,500, but by some schemings, it goes for tickets go for as high as 5 or even 10,000. And for some strange reason, only those within the system know how to manipulate these things and get tickets out. So now roads should be the least thing, the ordinary citizen should have access to enjoy. It's really sad if we have people who think like, I heard just yesterday or this morning the Minister of Power apologizing when he said that it is because the tariffs were low that Nigerians were leaving their freezers on, without even checking for the minister. Oh, did he expect people to buy freezers and keep their food stuff outside? It's really demeaning for government officials to speak that way. Quite honestly, it shows no respect for the ordinary citizens.
All right, thank you so much.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right, thank you so much, John Alechinu, for that report. Very insightful. All right, moving on. Let's take a look at Mr. and Mrs. And Mrs. is speaking this morning. She says, any man who beats his wife is an animal, so don't mix things up. Nita's husband is an animal, period. And Mr. responds and says, I agree with you. Is that not what they call animal husbandry? Exactly. All right, that's all we can take for today in the news. Remember that you can equally like, share, and subscribe on all our social media platforms showing on your screen. To find up-to-date stories, go to our website, www.vanguardindia.com. Find out more. I am Precious Chukudi, and thank you for watching.